Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. So in this video, we are going to write multi-stage pipeline. So in the last two videos, we have written one small starter pipeline. Okay. And then I have demoed like, okay, how you can create single stage pipeline. You have to add a step, and then under the step, you can add multiple task, right? So in this, now we are going to learn about the multi-stage pipeline. So I will create a new file and I'll name it as video 3 dot hyphen azure hyphen pipelines dot yml, right? So it should, what is the problem? Yeah, so let's rename it and we should give it in a proper format, right? So that's cool. Okay, so now what we are going to write is we are going to write from the beginning. Let's start with the name. So name means this is going to write the name of the build. So the name of the build, you can write anything. So in case, let's say if you want this to happen, the builds names to be generated automatically, right? Or maybe some incremental order. So what you should do is you should write is like video. So this is the pipeline name we have already written. So let's do it like 3. Okay. And instead of this, let's do one thing. Video 3, and let's give a variable. So in PowerShell, we declare a variable like this, right? So same way you have to create a variable, and then you have to mention as date dot y 4 times y and then dd. So this is the format, you have to just remember it, and so you can keep it like this. Okay, so no other things at this point of time. I don't want to add any other thing, but yeah. So we will see what is this doing. Okay, in the output, right? So now we'll start with the trigger, and the trigger will press enter, two spaces. I wanted to include any branches. I'll press enter, two spaces, include, enter, two spaces, single space, and then what branch, master, or if I wanted to include in as well. So if any changes into these two branches directly into the repo, your pipeline will get triggered. Okay. So exclude and all we have seen in the previous video only. So I hope you are already aware of it. What is the use of exclude? Okay, so I will go with the next stage. So in the stage, you have to put, because now we are going to cover the multi-stage pipeline. So that you have to start with not stage, basically stages, because under the stages, multiple stage will come. Okay. So now this, we have to press two space again. That's the key here. Then single space, and then stage. And then what you have to mention, like let's say if this is a build stage, right? And you have to give the name of that stage, and here let's give the name, basically display name. And if I wanted to give the display name as build stage, right? So this is what I wanted to give, and under that if I press enter, I just have to, so when, how you will know that okay you are following the correct syntax? So when you press the enter and you write here job, so you see this one very small or very light line is coming, right? So it means everything is going, indentation is coming correct. Now let me write here jobs. So now you see that's the problem. So whenever we write, okay, even I cannot write jobs here, it will show an error. So this we have already understood in the first video. Okay, so if I press enter, so far all good. Jobs, and then colon, and under the jobs you have to again press enter. It is going directly under the jobs. You have to give just two space, one space again, you're all good. Then one space here after hyphen, then job. So under the job you have to mention what is the job name. Let's say this is doing build job. Okay, so under the build job, right, let's say you wanted to add couple of steps as well. Okay, so again two steps, then this, press enter under the step, again two steps, hyphen single, then let's say I'm writing script, and basically you, I mean, in the subsequent videos we will see how we are creating it and what echo what is the actual task you have to use whenever you are building, let's say, .NET application. So that time we will see like what task you have to add. For now I'm just adding any random values here just to show like, okay, our task is working and what I'm trying to do, that will also work. Okay, so two spaces again. Under the script I have to write display name. So the display name should be anything you just mentioned. Okay, so run build script. Okay, and then this marks the completion of my basically build stage, right? And after that you just have to press forward arrow, and under that again you have to give two spaces, then you have to mention stage number 2, right? So your stage number 2, again, see, the problem is here we have to add one space here. Okay, so stage 2 is, let's say, is test stage. Okay, so this is called a multi-stage pipeline. So under the single stage, first is your build stage, then you are creating a test stage. You can write anything for now. Generally, if it is a .NET core application, so you will have stages or tasks like under the build stage, you will have task like basically build, restore, build, publish artifact. So that we are going to see down the line. Okay, don't worry about this. First, you understand the architecture or schema of this YAML pipeline that we have to understand, right? So this is, for now, I'm just explaining what is multi-stage pipeline, right? Previously, we have not used this stages. So this time I'm using stages. So under the stages, there is a stage. You can mention anything here. Okay, this list can grow even multiple jobs, multiple steps, right? Okay, so here it is step again, I mean stage number 2, that is test stage. In the stage, let's say I'm saying like the display name should be two spaces, and display name I'm saying test stage. Okay, and in the test stage you have to mention like in case you do not want any dependency, right, you can skip it. But let's say if you are saying like, okay, first my this stage should complete and then this stage should work, so what keyword you have to use is depends on. So you have to write depends on. All right, I hope this spelling is working because IntelliSense is not working. Yeah, it's correct. So depends on and then build. Okay, so why it automatically should? Because it is going to be dependent on this build. So once this will complete, then it will trigger, right? Under the depends on, again, this is the same thing, jobs, right? So you have to create jobs and then press enter. You have two spaces, hyphen space, then what is the job name? Under the jobs, you have to mention job. So let's say if you want test job, not jobs, and then you have to press enter. You have two spaces and then steps, colon, okay, enter, two spaces, hyphen, what, anything. Let's say I wanted to run a script, right? That's what we are doing so far. So script and echo, this time I am running test stage, right? And then let's press enter, press two space, and let's add the display name of this step. So here anything you can name, like let's say run test, and In actual, I will provide the test case information to execute. We will see in the next demo. Not next, we should say upcoming demo because there are so many things to cover. Okay, so this is the completion of multi-stage pipeline. Now you can keep doing it because you can as many as stages you can create. After test, you can say, let's say prod, and you can say this is prod stage and this is dependent on test, depends on test, so it will be dependent on this, and this is, let's say, prod job, prod, prod. So this is what. So in actual, we will change it like what all the different actual may we have to, what steps we have to add, right? So now everything is done. Let's save it. Okay. And after saving it, you can remove this extra spaces, no need. So that's not going to cause any harm. Okay. So, right. So like this, and do the control S, and then let's push this changes. So what I will do is git add dot git commit -m message video 3 multi-stage pipeline is created, right? One file created, git commit, and then let's push it. So once we push it, what we should see is here, let's refresh this. We should see another file. What is the problem? We should see another file here, definitely. Okay, so what it is telling us, failed to push the references. It has not pushed it because updates were rejected because tip of your current branch is behind its remote counterpart if you wanted to integrate. So let's do the git pull first. So git pull. Okay, so few changes we have done on the pipeline level, right? So that is the only challenge. It is causing some issue. Let me fix this and then I'll. So what we have to do is to fix it, let's do the QA and present it to straight QA. And then it is telling like, okay, write the last, no, write since last changes buffer this. Okay, let me write WQ and then let me press enter. Okay, so I'm now out of this. So basically the problem was that there was some changes on the repo level, but those changes are not present into our local. That's the issue, right? So we have what we have to do is first we need to git pull and we have to pull it from the origin master because that is the origin is there. So let's not only push git pull origin master, git push origin master. Okay, so it has pushed it. Yeah, now this time the file is there. Okay, so this is what the file we have changed, right? So if you remember, we have added this particular concept. I'll show you what it is doing. And then this is the multi-stage pipeline I have written here. So let's go to the pipelines now. Okay, so far it is not triggered because we have to create a pipeline. So let's create a pipeline, and from the existing pipeline, video 3, continue, right? And this is my pipeline which I have done it. So let's save it. Okay, so if you wanted to rename and all, you can what you can. This is all the ADO concepts. So there is a rename option here. You can do the rename. For now, I'm not interested. I'll just go with this. I will just run. Yeah. So this is the difference here. So we have created, if you remember, build stage, right? Let me open the VS Code. So first stage was build stage, and it is dependent on test stage. So it is not going to be triggered until unless this is completing, right? So now it will trigger, and after that, this one will trigger. Okay. So this is what our whole pipeline. So you have to understand like, okay, what is multi-stage pipeline? Because nowadays nobody is using classic pipelines, right? So this is how you have to build, test, and then deploy. So all those things we will learn, but at this point of time, we should be only worried about learning the concepts. And today's video's concept is uh, stages. Okay, so this is all done. In the next video, we have to cover a couple of more things before we start doing the actual work, right? So let's go here. Okay, and there is some problem I'm seeing in this pipeline. And the pipeline, the biggest problem what I'm seeing is um, it has not picked up the what I wanted is I wanted to do this one. Let's do this change first from the repo only. So this is there. What we should do is I think we need to add the rev as well. So and let me save it and let me try to push this. Now let's see the pipeline. Okay, so what I wanted to do is let it complete, but at next time I don't want my all previous pipelines to trigger unnecessarily if I create a new pipeline or new file, right? So I will do like include none, right? So this should work. Okay, and let me save it. So I'm just doing this. You should not do it like this. Okay, so any changes I have done and it has not included. Now let's wait for this only. Okay, so now it has started taking it like on when we have added the revision, right? So it has taken like revision 1 2, but I will just check like why exactly the date has not picked up. Ideally that also should be picked up, right? I just wanted to see that part as well. So video 3 dot, I think that's the issue. Okay, so let me save and run. I hope I have just triggered the run as well. Let me trigger the run and let's run it. Okay, it has still not picked up. I'll check this and I will fix in the next video. But for now, we should understand this concept. Okay, and on top of it, I just also wanted to do one more change here. Okay, in this file, let's say, where is our Visual Studio? let's say if I comment this, right, and it should not depend on prod, or in actual we don't do like this. We say like, let's say my test stage is not dependent on the build stage, but my prod stage is dependent on the test stage. Now let's try to push it. Okay, so first I will do get pull because some changes I've done directly. So get pull origin master. Okay, so it is telling like, okay, that is fine, and have some change something. Get push origin master. Okay, so again it is telling like, okay, we pull it. That's why we should not directly do the changes. Okay, and origin, what is the origin, main or master? It is master. Okay, I have not given the, okay. Your changes to the following file would be overridden merge. Okay, I'm not worried for that. Okay, this is the one. Okay, please commit the changes or stash before you merge. Cool. Git add dot hyphen m removed depend on. Okay, now let's say git pull origin master. Okay, and then we have to, this is Vim basically. Okay, and I hope it is pulled, and then git push origin master. And let's see the changes now. So this is commented. This is what I have tried to comment. And after commenting it, let's see the change. So this is the revision. Okay, now let me run it and show the difference. I'll run it manually. So once the, since the another thing is I do not have multiple agents available. So what it will do is it will go line by line only because it will not pick two stages in parallel. Okay, so first it will be completed, build stage will be completed, then test stage, and then production, because there is only one agent currently I'll have available with me. But the thing is that I have removed the dependency on test stage on QA. If there is any another agent, it will immediately run. It will not wait for this one. So we have some one agent that it will trigger line by line, and it will go for the prod. It will wait for this to complete, and then it will go for the prod. Okay, so this is how we have to, or what we can do in production, right? Generally, for the test environment, we can definitely create another agent. So here we can pass another agent that can be used here. If we don't wanted to use the same pool, then we can create another pool. Okay, under the jobs, then we can use another pool as well. So this is all about the multi-stage pipeline. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you, everyone.